Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, hump day, woo woo, August 11th. This is your watch list for today. Going into the session here, you can see we're incredibly flat. We've had really flat candles over the last couple of days, meaning that there's just not a lot of movement up, down. We kind of end up in the same place. We work all day to end up at the same place. Putting in this bit of a channel. I know it looks really squishy on that chart there. But look at that. Those candles are just really, really tiny, hanging out, dancing along the top of this volume profile resistance that we put in, or I guess support. It was resistance, now it's support. But going into today, we have CPI data that's going to come out here in about 40 minutes from the time I'm filming this. And what is that? CPI data is the Consumer Price Index, and that's what we're all paying for. Groceries, when we go shopping, what are we paying for things? This will speak to inflation, and inflation is what the Fed looks at, and they will start talking, adjusting their policy accordingly. So we're kind of just dancing a little bit on eggshells as we are walking on eggshells here as we move into those numbers. So don't be surprised if we are a little bit flat, and then depending on what those numbers come out, we'll look and see how we move after that. So, of course, the market can change drastically after data comes out. But
the World Health Organization said...
All right, but this is what we look like here going into the start of the day. Want to real quickly touch on Bitcoin. So, yesterday, Bitcoin, Doji, right now, kind of looking like a Doji. Of course, this is the future, so we have a lot of time left on this. But you see, we came up and tested again this gap area. So we've tested. Looks like maybe on the next one, if we can push and push high through the high of the candle here, maybe push into that gap a little bit further. That's what we'll be watching for on those. Some great day traders. Mara is a great one. We also have RIOT. And then we can look at Coin actually, here, throw a coin up. Coin here, it did report, and we're sitting right inside this candle from yesterday. So not too much movement. We're sitting at 275.50. I would watch Coin here. And obviously if Bitcoin starts to move up, Coin will move along with it. So we'll keep an eye on it. All of those, I would kind of maybe watch those for an opening range play. You know, whether you like the 5 minute, 15, half an hour, whatever it is, I would play those off of an opening range. But Coin actually sitting right inside, and starting out to be an inside candle here, so we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin. Okay, let's take a look at, we have infrastructure. Bill, these names moved really well yesterday. We had Nucor. We got out of AA. But there's Nucor and STLD. I like all of these here. Going to, for Nucor, all of these are looking to move again this morning. I would take them off, I would play all of these off of an opening range, because you can see here that we are just in new territory. We drew a trend line, right? That's not even going to be very helpful. So new territory, I would take these off of an opening range and use probably either the opening from today as your stop or the high from yesterday, right? Will just kind of depend on how it moves here. Nucor, the ones I would be watching off the bat are the 917, 125, and for STLD, I would be here, let me throw STLD up here. STLD, I would be watching those 70s. You can see yesterday we went beautifully through this trend line that we had drawn in and talked about, just right through it, blew through it there, built up that volume, of course, on that infrastructure news. So that looking pretty good. So I have a new nephew. His name is Emerson, so I thought it would be great to go over here and play some Emerson. Okay, that's not exactly why, but it works out kind of cute. Okay, anyway, looking at Emerson here, Emerson Electric. There we go. There's that trend line. You see that? It's a move through that trend line that we are looking for. And then we can use that trend line as a stop. I like the 917, 105s there in Emerson. TTD, this one we've talked about, I feel like so many times we've played it. And look at this. broke through this trend line, and where did we stop yesterday? We came right back down, hung out at this trend line, looking for another one of these that we're looking for the move over the trend line. I would watch the 917.90s and again use that trend line as a stop. Let's take a gander over into some Snoopy land. That's right. I mean, I'm not the only one who thinks of MetLife and Snoopy, right? Just making sure. Okay, MetLife here. Plenty of room to the trend line. Look at this. We came up through the 50. We hung on near the 50, pushed off the 50. Like this setup here, we did a lot of movement down here below that point of control after this big drop back here. Like the move, there's plenty of room here up to about 63.95 and then up to that trend line. Like the look in MetLife, watching the 917.6250s. All right. One of the techs that, a lot of the Qs just didn't do well. Now, a lot of the techs just didn't do well yesterday, but overall, look at Oracle here. Left us a little open window candle. We have this little, I cannot draw a line this morning. There we go. Got this little shelf in here that we are using as support, looking for a continuation here. I actually like it, though, up above 90.20. I can draw that in, yeah. I don't know, my drawing skills are a little lacking this morning. 90.20, I like it coming up out of this channel. I would be watching the 917.90s on Oracle. And then because every morning I need to have my cup of coffee, cups of coffee, pot of coffee, yeah, I have an addiction. Let's look at Starbucks. Like Starbucks, this one popped up yesterday on a higher volume scan. Look where we stopped out though. Like, so I know that this is a pretty heavy selling volume. Would look for a push down and then come back through that 50. I like it through the 50 or the close of yesterday, either of those for a reversal play here in Starbucks. And I'm going to be watching the 917.120s in that one. Okay, be sure to check out your industrial stocks, of course, because we have a lot of those moving on infrastructure. So anything related to that, we will keep an eye on. Also watch for some reversal potentials in AMD, Moderna. We've got some, looks like they might be setting up there, but don't anticipate that those plays are going to happen. Participate when they do happen. Okay, that is it for me this morning. I hope you have an awesome day. If you have any questions, reach out, Heather C. at givingtreetrading.com.